Have you seen the videos doing these crochet sweatshirts? Well, I'm actually thinking about taking it up a notch and doing some denim jackets with crochet sleeves. So I went and I did some thrifting today at Goodwill, and I found a couple of jackets that I want to crochet sleeves on. Now there's a bonus on these. They don't have sleeves to start with, so they're like crochet vests, or they're vests, they're denim vests. And I got two of them. One is this black one here that's got some nice detailing. It's got a nice zipper. This is actually, it's a Jeep, I guess. I'm not a name brand junkie, so I think that's a better name than maybe just an off the rack Walmart kind of brand. But I think it's a pretty nice looking jacket. It looks like it's barely been worn. So this should give me some nice little tapestry. And then I also purchased this adorable little one. And this is not, I don't think this is as fancy of a brand. This is YMI Jeans. And, but it's got some distressed look to it. So the next sort of step to adding the sleeves, because I did add, the next step to adding the sleeves to these, because I did add sleeves to the sweatshirt back here, is picking the color that I want to go with. And that's going to be the really hard part for me, because I'm actually thinking that I may list these for sale. This one for sure, because there's no way this one's going to fit me. Now, to me, this one is, it says small. I would actually go extra small, or maybe even, I don't know. But anyway, maybe my granddaughter could wear it if it doesn't sell. So I've got to pick colors that would either be good for a purpose of selling it on my brand new website, or something that maybe might appeal to my granddaughter. So let's talk about some of the color options. I'm going to start with this one, partly because it's a less expensive one, and so I'll get a little bit more practice, versus the Guess one, which is a little bit more expensive and is one that I would actually wear. I think it would fit me, and I could wear this one if it doesn't sell. This one, it's either going to sell or it's going to go to my granddaughter. One or the other, or somebody that I know. So, color options that I was thinking for this one. And I totally want your opinion on this. I'm not starting these right away, so I'm trying to put this video out early so that we can kind of talk colors. Now, if I sell these, I'm kind of thinking I might want to do some higher end yarn. But I do have some of this Hobby Lobby yarn in kind of a southwesty New Mexico kind of vibe that I was going to use for a blanket, and then ended up not using this colorway for that. But I actually think this would look freaking adorable on denim. The thing is, it's probably a fairly localized kind of colorway. Like, this isn't going to appeal to New England states, for example. However, if it's sold here in the Southwest, I think it would go over very well. So let's talk about some other color options. And for this, I'm going to actually tap into my cabinet over here. So let's open this up and see some of the other options that I have. Now, I do have this Noro, and this is Silk Garden Lite. And I'll put the links to all of the yarn that I'm looking at and considering using in the comments below. I don't know for sure that all of them are going to be available. Some of them are discontinued as I have them, but at least you'll be able to kind of take a look. If it's a discontinued yarn, the link will be to Ravelry and where you can kind of look at it there. But you can always use yarnsub.com to find something that might be comparable. So this is a very lovely rainbowy kind of yarn. So if I was going to give it to my granddaughter, if I knew that I was going to give it to her, this colorway, this would be perfect. She would absolutely love this. Now, not knowing that I want to give it to her for sure, I don't know that I want to go with something this rainbowy for the very first one that I want to kind of do. So I might save this one for another jacket down the road. We'll see. Other options that I have, this is a Noro silver Thaw. So the Silk Garden Lite is made out of 45% silk, 45% mohair, and 10% wool. So it's definitely a higher end yarn, and that would sort of elevate the ability to sell it for something that is kind of a premium price, and maybe not the best idea for a 5.5-year-old, as I think about it. Yeah, yes, I know this might be a little bit big for a 5.5-year-old, but she could always grow into it, right? But then again, maybe she wouldn't like the rainbow colors at that point in time, so who knows? Okay, we're just brainstorming here. So that's that one. The Silver Thaw is, it comes in a hank, is 50% wool, 25% Angora, and 25% nylon. So again, it is a higher end kind of yarn, and that would elevate sort of the premium quality of the garment if I tried to turn around and resell it. And I like the idea of doing sort of these very festive colors, because I think that sells really well right now. I think it's really popular. And you can see that each of these, these are all the same kind of colorway, and they've all kind of got those rainbowy kind of colors in there. So that might be a good option, like one of the top options I'm considering right now. I also considered doing this one. This is Rose Artisans, and this is a very soft sock weight yarn. It is 75% superwash, 25% nylon. And these colors I think would go fabulous with this, but I'm not 100% sure that I have enough of this because I only have one skein. And the last thing I would want to do would be to run out. Now I could do like a granny square where I do the middle with this color and then the outside of the granny square with just a solid color, whether it's a white or a blue or maybe a peach, something like that. That might be an option if I decide to go with this. But I haven't done a granny square. I could do stripes. I've done stripes. Obviously, I've done stripes. Thinking outside the box here. I also have this rather bright sort of yarn, I think. No, I don't think I would have enough. I don't think I'd have enough of this. So that one's not going to work. It would definitely work for something smaller, or again, maybe if I'm doing stripes. But I would only be able to use a little bit of this, and I that's just not going to work. I think the same with this. I don't know that I have quite enough of it. Now, certainly on a smaller one, it would work better because the sleeves don't have to be as long. So, I have this green. The green would actually look very lovely, but I have a lot of this and I think I want to save it for an entire garment. And, so those are sort of the colorways. I'm leaning towards, I'm leaning towards this one right now. One other option I have, let me grab it real quick. I started playing around with some of this. I've got some of these balls left over. I was using this for one of my stash busting projects, my stash down. I was making a plant holder, and then as I was thinking about it, I'm like, ooh, you know what? This would look really nice with denim. And if I do something like... this is totally not finished, but I could do the inside flower part of the sunburst granny square with this and then do the outside in just like a white. I think that would look really, really pretty. And to me, this would be like closer to what I would like. I would enjoy something that's more solid, sort of matching kind of tones as opposed to really bright, vivid, vibrant sleeves. So I might save this idea also for one that I know if it doesn't sell, I could wear it. Because I do like that idea, which also means that I can't use that yarn for the project that I was working on, which means I'm going to have to frog that project. Oh well, it's okay. That's what we do, right? So that's what I'm thinking for the denim. I really think that I'm going to go with this and then just do kind of the traditional granny stitch instead of doing granny squares on this one. And we'll see how that goes. Now, if we're talking about this lovely black one, which actually has a hoodie, which I think is kind of cool to have the hoodie. And I love the little zipper pocket there. I think this one is, really classy. I'm thinking maybe something like a red and a silver. What do you think? I kind of like this. It gives it more of a classy feel, a little more upscale feel. Now, I know that the granny square ones and the bright, vivid, bold ones do sell. I tend to be more attracted to something that has more of this, so it's kind of a hard thing to say, do I do colors that I think would appeal to me, or do I do colors that I think would appeal to the mass? Or at least the mass that would be the paying mass, right? So that's sort of an interesting challenge there. I kind of like these here. Let's see what, I was also thinking of, now, this would be a little bright. Definitely would not be my color selection, but if I did the green, that would really stand out. Ooh, maybe if I did a green and a, hold on, we're playing here. What about something like that? The bright green in there with the gray on the black. This would give it that really big pop. I'm kind of liking that. We'll have to see. Now, I totally want your opinions. And if you have other color options, because look, here's another one I had. Okay, I have a lot of stashed yarn, and it's all kinds of yarn. It's not like I've got 50 skeins of Big Twist. No, I've got a wide variety of yarn. So I was also maybe thinking something like this. This is kind of that thick and thin, bumpy kind of yarn. So if I did this with that, I like that color together for sure. So the question is, do I do something that's going to be neutral enough that it can be worn with other things? That's what would appeal to me. Or do I do something that is that statement piece that says, no, this is vibrant and bold and yes. Maybe I just need to do both. I need to go thrift more jackets and buy more and make more and see what works, because I totally don't know. So I want your opinion. I totally want your opinion on this. And let's see here. That shoulder doesn't work very good. I gotta put that shoulder on first. There we go. That one can go back. Okay. Yeah. What do you think? I think this actually might be a little big for me. Shockingly, it is a large, but well, who knows? What do you think? I kind of think it's cute. I like it. But I'm going to use it. I'm going to make it. And we'll see. I don't know. Kind of liking the red and the silver. Who knows? I want to know your opinion. What would you use? What colors would you use in this? Would you use something that's more of a... no, I don't think that would work with the black. That would... Again, it kind of goes to that green. So many options. This is the funnest part of getting to be an artist, and crochet is an art. Like, you might buy a pattern that teaches you how to do something step by step, but you get to choose the colors. You get to choose any sort of modifications. To some extent, you even get to choose whether or not you use one type of a yarn over another type of a yarn. Sometimes you don't want to stray too much, but sometimes you just get to explore and see what happens. So let me know. What colors do you think I should do for the black? What colors do you think I should do for the denim? Do you think this is a good option, or should I go with one of the other options? I can't wait to see what you guys think and what you suggest in the discussion below. I can't wait to hear from you. Hey, Farah. Take us out.